Who are you? We have to do the scrap again.
Okay, I'm Dylan Rich. I'm apparently going first.
I'm Tyler Whitley, and I'm going second.
I'm Clint Leneau, and I'm still me.
So, and the overarching theme of this play is torture. Who gets tortured the most in this play?
Oh, I don't think anyone does. I think it's a real pull for all three of them, and none of them get what they want.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you look at it real objectively, you might be able to say that, like, this one kind of gets the worst of it. But I still think that Clint's right. There's a real strong pull for debate for all of us.
Now, I would argue that Eric would get the worst of it because you have already come to terms with your sins and where you're at. You just need to come to terms. You just need one person to tell you that what you've done is wrong. I'm not getting acceptance from anyone.
Well, but you do. It's fake acceptance. But think about, and I see what you're saying, but think about Garson, like where he's coming from. The whole world could tell him what he needs to hear, but the one person he needs to hear it from, he can't. And that's just a twist.
True. And even though you get like sort of an acceptance from me, or I feel like I win with you a little bit, like it doesn't matter that it's you. You're more like a slate. I'm always going to be looking for that slate that's never going to be true. It's a fabricated idea of what love is.
So we all fucking suck in the end.
Awesome. So who is the worst character? Who truly belongs in hell? And why?
Well,
see, I'm English professor
speaking,
in this.
all three of us belong in hell. We're there for a reason.
Yeah, that is a line in the script.
Who is the worst?
I have to go the same route. I don't think there's anyone whose sins are worse than the others. Like at the beginning, on the surface, it's Ivan, because Ivan's very open with what he did.
I looked like the worst at first.
The more you learn about each character, the more you realize they're all terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, they tormented people in their lives.
Yeah.
And the other thing is too, all of them, are terrible people, but all of them have had experiences that brought them to that place. And even though you still at the end have to be like, bro, that's just wrong. You see why. Like even with Ivan, you kind of go, oh, he's trying to create love somehow. He just doesn't even know what that is at all.
Now, to also take the road of I will be the one to pick one, I would argue that Ivan is the worst because in the script, he never really apologizes for anything he does. While we both say we've done something wrong.
Yeah, but I don't think we apologize for it. I mean, Garson even says when he's talking about his wife that he was callous and he doesn't care. And he says, he still, after he dies, he says, can you not do anything for me? Like, are you still this awful thing? Like, you made it so easy to torture you. And Eric says the same thing about the woman who killed herself. He's like, I don't care.
No, I agree.
She's just some poor bitch.
I also agree that everyone's a shitty person and we all deserve to be there. I was just staking my claim. Ivan's the worst piece of shit.
And I don't think you're wrong. I'm just telling you why I don't think we can stake a claim on anyone.
I will say I think the most likable character is yours.
See, I disagree.
Who do you think is the most likable? Yours?
Yeah, Joe is the most likable character because, like, you could be like, okay, he's just a gruff military man. They just brainwashed him. It's fine. Like, he did a shitty thing, but you can get over it because it's like he was just being masculine. He thought it's what he was supposed to do. And Eric
killed a baby.
Eric killed a baby and didn't care.
I mean, that's true.
And a woman and didn't care.
That's true.
He led someone on and just didn't care.
I just feel like when they're first watching it, they're going to see you.
So back to the statement about who is the worst. Only 2 characters actually committed murder.
That's true.
Yeah.
Why are they all 3 in a room together? What links them?
Now, you see, I don't know that only 2 characters committed murder because suicide is self-murder.
That's true.
And Garson knew when he crossed his arms he was going to get killed. He went into it knowing that he would die.
Wait, you're assuming that your character didn't commit murder. You were a warrior, and you did kill in the war. That one didn't kill anybody.
I didn't, actually.
But he drove someone to kill themselves.
I mean,
knowingly.
But see, that's the thing. Ivan is a master of loopholes, so you can say, oh, Ivan didn't kill anybody, but Ivan kills people.
Ivan killed himself, didn't he?
His husband did. Lover.
But see, Ivan.
We should read the script.
I read the script, but I I read it when I read into the script. It sounded like he had killed
Well, it
himself.
does
So that was just a misinterpretation.
No, it sounds like that because when I'm first talking and he's asking me like how'd you die, I say carbon monoxide, and it's in a way to where I think at the beginning of the script you are led to think Ivan killed himself
And it all
until
goes
you
back
realize
to
he
how
didn't.
manipulative Ivan is.
But that's what I'm saying. I think you can go real technical with it and like look on paper and be like, oh, Ivan didn't kill anybody. But guys, Ivan kills people in their minds slowly, daily. He tortures people. He's the torturer in my mind.
Awesome.
But did he kill a baby?
You know what? Yes, you're bad.
And also, I guess then we have to determine, is killing in war murder or is it war? Because there is that really fine line in the sand.
Some
And
people
you know,
call
you
it a
think
sense
about
of duty.
you think about the Crusades, where if you
No.
killed someone,
Don't think about the Crusades.
Spanish Inquisition.
No one expects
no, but killing someone essentially pardons you. So it goes back to the age-old question: does war justify
Or
murder?
Jihad, killing an infidel is an instant pass into heaven.
Which also is
So-
probably going to be a lot of the director's way of putting it.
Does
to the
anything
audience.
justify murder? Does anything justify killing at all?
I would say the script would say no.
Lots of profound questions.
Yes, we're gonna get deeper with that because I got an English professor this stuff. So, there's a major change to the original script, of course, which I guess you noticed. Eric would originally have killed Ivan. Eric starts attacking Joe. What do you feel the shift is between the original script and that action? Whose character is built stronger and whose is built weaker, and what is the overall message with that?
You know, I was real surprised at that shift actually because of the aggressiveness of Ivan. And so when I looked at that, even in the script, like Ivan's aggressiveness is still so strong. I was wondering why. Why is there a switch there? And I think it just comes back to there is obviously a tension between us, right? But there is a connection that's stronger actually between these two because he needs him.
And I also feel like maybe because Eric and Ivan are such powerful personalities, and Joe is too, but he's so passive that Eric is like, I need something from you and you're not giving it to me and I'm gonna fucking make you do something. And Joe's just like, stab me then, I don't care, I'm dead. And he's just so deadpan about it and he just laughs. Because it's like, what are you gonna do? Because I do think Joe knows that if he wanted to, because he's a trained soldier, he could snap their necks at any time. He just doesn't care.
And also knows it would do no good.
Yeah.
And he's smart.
And yeah, I feel that the not killing is really a lot more profound because it gives this what's the word I'm looking for? Oh Lord, implication of resignment. They all are resigned to where they are, and they know that these acts of passion are something that would serve no good.
And I also think that it's interesting, and this kind of connects and kind of doesn't. We are existing in a world where time is relative, but Joe still gets there first. So he was the most immediate to the afterlife, and it feels like to me he is the most accepting of death. He is the most accepting of, okay, I'm dead, I'm done.
See, I found that interesting because I thought the reason you and him are the ones who get in the physical altercation is almost because it's a powerful plot device to push the two of you, more so him than you obviously, to the acceptance, to the point of like, no, this is it. You have to accept where you are and what's happened to you, what you've done. Because after that, shortly after that, is the hysteria of just laughter and blackout. You know.
If Eric had killed Ivan in the script, would that consign Ivan to have winning?
In a sense.
You see, I don't think so, because I think if Joe had killed Ivan, Ivan would have won. Because he was egging Joe on the entire time. But if he was killed by Eric, then that would be like the ultimate slap in the face, because the thing that he wants has been turned against him and perverted.
Yeah.
That would be the ultimate torture.
The only thing that Ivan could take out of that situation as a win is the fact that he finally got Eric to feel enough emotion about him, whatever the emotion was. He got to feel enough for him to make such a brash action. I think that's the only thing Ivan could take away is that, I at least made him want me dead. And the word want me is still in there.
Oh yeah,
Or the
and
phrase.
that's why it's called an act of passion.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, in the original script, Satra has said himself his favorite character would be who would be Ivan in the script. Does your director's vision differ from that? And what sentimentality and aesthetics does this add to the film?
I really feel like you don't pick a favorite. You all respect each of the characters for their own individual traits and have directed that suitably.
I think we'd also have to see how, honestly for me, I'd have to see how the rest of the rehearsal process pans out. Because right now, blocking wise, everything is pretty even. There's really no, I'm gonna put this one in the spotlight forever and ever. But when we get more into, talking about the interpretation of the text and our intentions, I think that might let us know whether or not there is a favoritism there.
Any commentary?
I don't. I have thoughts, but they have been pretty laid out already.
And the final question is, we'll readdress this one once we're done with the script. Well, blocking, filming, all that fun jazz. What's next for these characters? If there was a sequel, what would happen? Because they're there forever and ever.
Oh God, we could talk about this for a while. I feel like that's a dangerous question.
I feel like they would push the limits of what's allowed within their confinement. They would try and find connections to one another, and I think that by the end of the script, the hatred is just gone, and I think they would find ways to entertain themselves, probably at the expense of each other.
Oh yeah.
And I think that more people would show up.
Honestly,
I don't think they would be the only three in the cast.
No, because they would break themselves down, each other down to the point of where there's nothing more to hide and nowhere to stab, and they would find their situation almost a bonding experience, and they would, because while they did terrible things, they're all three very sensible people. They are not ones to ignore logic, and through that they would find almost a connection within each other. So if there was a sequel, there would have to absolutely be new people or a new device in which to torture them, because I feel like after a innumerable amount of time, they would just stop caring about giving each other shit.
it's weird. They would almost heal.
Yeah.
If they had an infinite amount of time to really do this, because there's the smallest hint of it in the script now, where you can almost see the character, even Ivan, almost make the decision of, what if I did it? What if I just truly listened, and what if I just was vulnerable enough to tell them what I really want? And yet, he doesn't, obviously, because he's nowhere near there yet. But with eternity,
They could easily reconcile.
And I also have a feeling that in this piece, more than in Sartre's original work, we aren't in hell. We're in purgatory. And when the door opens, we are being allowed to choose our fate. And I think the reason that Joe doesn't go out is because what he sees through that door isn't the way up. And he knows that if he leaves, he's going to go down, and he doesn't want that. So I think eventually they would all find their reconciliation.
Either they would find their way up, or they would resign and take their way down.
Awesome. I also lied. I do have another question that I have to ask. So there's an overarching theme. This film obviously take hits at masculinity and American ideals towards that. How would you say this is done in the film? What is masculinity, and how does this film portray it?
I can at least say, as Joe, the weakest character is the soldier. And we are painted this picture nowadays of the soldier is the tough guy and he's going to protect you. And Joe is at the same time the weakest and strongest character, because he's the first to resign himself to where he is. But he's also the one that needs the other two. More than the others. I think they could exist by themselves. But Joe needs the other two.
Another interesting parallel with Ivan is the gay liberal art student. And he really is a driving force within the show.
He's vicious.
He is the one that pushes everything forward. And America has a hard time seeing these gay art students as people who are a driving force in America, which they are.
Especially in the current administration.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So,
No, you laugh, but I'm serious.
I mean,
Look at what has been changed.
so being able to look at the two parallels here, and look at the weak soldier and the passionate art student, really has a lot to say.
And then the rich one, which we are painted as the pinnacle of society, is money. He's not.
No.
He shows up and he needs both of them.
Mm-hmm.
He, not as much I think as Joe does, but he exists by himself, and the others, when the others don't care, he's like, why don't you care? Why don't you care that I'm here? I'm from money. This is what you want to be, isn't it? And we kind of just like, not really.
American ideas always paint the rich as secure and happy and proud of where they're at. And he's none of those things. He is weak and insecure and hates who he is. And the only way he can like himself, Eric can like himself, is through the acceptance of others, which is, we've always seen the rich as independence.
And we do represent the three ideals of American society: freedom, money, and power.
Y'all, my favorite.